That mouse trap's still set. I have to check my travel trailer regularly for mice. I don't know about you guys. If you got a travel trailer and it sits, all winter long, the mice like to get in there and make nests. So I've got it all folded in, as you can see here, but I do have mouse traps set all over the place in here. And if the mouse traps aren't sprung, then I'm pretty happy that I haven't had any mice problems this year. Last year, a couple of mice died in there, and I couldn't find them anywhere. It was horrible. The smell was terrible. I finally did find them, but after I put up with I did everything to try to disguise the smell of death in there. It wasn't easy, but I managed. Come on in the man cave and we'll talk. You're probably wondering if I'm going to do any camping this year. I got a couple camp outs set up for the year, but I don't go very far with it. Because I'll tell you, pulling that travel trailer costs a lot of money. And there's just a lot of dynamics to it. For one, to pull it any distance, it's the fuel consumption, especially pulling it with my 2500, is horrible. The other thing to take in mind is that those travel trailers, those RVs, although they're an attractive hobby or something you like to do, they are not very durable on the road. You just figure, take your house, pick it up, put wheels on it, go down the road, and with all the shaking and banging around, how long is that going to hold up? It's going to fall apart eventually, and that's what happens with these travel trailers. It doesn't take long for things to start rattling loose, coming loose, breaking, tires blowing out. So my trips for that are short. Now, I've had a couple people ask me too, well, now that you're retired and you don't have a wife anymore, since your wife passed away, are you going to travel? I'm going to tell you what, I've considered it. I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. I've considered it. For one, I looked at some cruises, only because my daughter she's been on quite a few cruises and she really enjoyed it. She really had a good time, and so I was encouraged to look at some cruises. Now, she told me which ones to stay away from and which ones were the best according to her. And I thought, you know what? I think I would be cool if I could take a cruise to Alaska. Wouldn't that be neat? To see Denali, go up in the fjords and see the glaciers or whatever. I don't know. I think there's different trips you can take there. So I went online and I looked and, okay, well, it seemed reasonable, but what I didn't take into account was you still got to have airfare from here to there to get there. It's not included in the price of the cruise. So it pretty much doubles the price of the cruise at that point. And it can get pretty expensive. And then the other thing with these cruise lines is, you book the cruise and then there's all kinds of upgrades. Like, oh, you want that? Well, that's going to cost you more. Oh, you want this? Oh, that's going to cost you more. And just like the airlines, everything costs more. And before you're done, you've got half a fortune tied up there. After I did all the math and put all the figures together, I said, man, that's an expensive trip to Alaska. But still, I would consider it. I think it would be fun to take a cruise up there. The other place that I kind of considered for a little while was going to the Holy Land, and seeing all the historical places there with the biblical references and everything. I think that would be pretty cool. And I looked into that. The problem with going to the Holy Land is it's highly recommended that you go with a guide because there's places where you shouldn't go, and there's just a lot to. You can get lost pretty easily. There's a lot to see, and there's like 100 different tours you could take depending on what you want to see and how long you're going to stay there and what you're going to see, and then the price on that was outrageous, and I thought, good grief, there's no way I'm spending that kind of money to go there. Um, so I kind of nixed that trip and decided, well, I guess I won't be seeing the Holy Land uh, unless something were to come up and I win the lottery. No, I'm not going there. So as far as travel in that regard goes, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. I'm pretty content to stay home, really. I mean, I have a lot of fun just taking the Harley out for a ride and going on a day ride or something like that. Now, guys said, well, you're going to take a trip on your Harley again. I'm not too sure about the long distance travel with the Harley. Now, only because in the past I was younger and I slept on the ground. I didn't stay in hotels or, every once in a while I'd stop at a cheap motel just to get a shower or something, but the rest of the time I just slept on the ground in a tent. And that's not the most comfortable thing, and especially at my age, to lay on the ground on a little thin mattress, an air mattress or something, is just not going to cut it. If I had to, yeah, I could. I mean, I'm not a wimp in that regard. I just value my comfort. It's like some of those things, been there, done that, and okay, I know what it's all about. I've been there, I experienced it, I know what it is. But do I want to do it again? Not particularly, you know what I mean? Now, I could go out, travel around on the Harley, and stay in hotels. That could be an option. And I've considered that too. But, okay, here's the thing with me. I'm not a tightwad. I mean, but I like to spend my money wisely. And whenever you plan on traveling anywhere, no matter how you're going to do it, it's going to cost you money. And then I have to weigh out the cost that I spent for what I get in return. Well, let's just say I go on an Alaskan cruise and I spend, I don't know, thousands of dollars. And then I get home, and what do I have? I'm $6,000-7,000 short, and all I got is a memory. And with me, I'm always thinking, what could I have spent that money on that would have been longer lasting, something that I could use, something that would benefit me better than just taking a trip somewhere. So yeah, I look at things that way too. I just hate throwing money away because I don't have a lot of money, and when it's gone, it's gone. You take a trip, you get on an airplane, fly somewhere, you might as well just throw your cash out the window because there it goes, bye bye. But you know what? Okay, there are some pretty good memories of things I've done, but now this comes into play too, that I'm single now. I don't have somebody to share that excursion with. Let's say, I go to Alaska. I don't have anybody to share that with me. I go on a cruise. I'm by myself. I don't know anybody on the cruise, and it's can be kind of awkward. I mean, I'm not there to meet somebody. I'm not looking to find somebody to hang out with. I'm sure I probably make a friend or two on a cruise, but I don't have that special person to share that with, and that makes a trip, even more pleasurable. It's different when you're by yourself. It's just different by yourself. Uh, I go out to eat somewhere, it's different by yourself. I usually, I mean, I have gone places where I'll sit at the bar. You know, when you go to Applebee's or something, rather than get in a booth, I'll just go up and sit at the bar and eat up there. And that's a little more of a social type of a place to have your dinner because there's other people that might be sitting around you and they'll talk and the bartender will talk to you and stuff like that. But generally, I don't do that because, I don't know. I just, when I go to eat, I just don't want to be in a social situation. I usually just ask for a private booth where I can just kind of hide in my own little corner and eat my meal and then get the heck out of there. That's just me. I mean, the whole travel thing is me. I'm not saying everybody would deal with this the same way that I'm thinking. This is just my way of thinking about it, of travel. So, will I travel again? I don't know. There's a possibility that I probably would, but definitely take some short trips around here, some day trips, maybe a 3-day camp out with the travel trailer, drag that thing around somewhere and invite my friends, my family, whatever. I do have one planned with all of my brothers where we head down south and set up camp, and then my brothers all kind of converge and we spend a couple days there just cooking over the fire and enjoying each other's company and catching up on life. That's fun. The other thing too about traveling is like this summer my schedule is already booking up, man. I got family events, I got weddings, and it's like, well, I can't go that week. No, I can't go that week. Well, I can't go that week. So it's like, when do I plan to do this? And that's the other thing when you go like to Alaska, let's just say. There's times of the year you don't want to go, and other times of the year when you do want to go. And the most recommended time of the year to go, those things are booked solid. So you're going to be on a crowded ship. So then you got to juggle that around. So this the whole schedule thing. Yeah, it's too confusing to me. I'll just stay home. I don't like to be a homebody, though. I do like to get out, and I get out regularly. I was out today. I just got back a little while ago, and the rest of my week's going to be real busy, too. So my son invited me to go to a bluegrass music venue coming up here in a couple days, so that might be interesting. I'll go check that out. Well, Cats, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate your company. And, throw your comments out there and let me know what you think about travel. And I'm sure some of you would encourage me to go. Some of you would offer to join me, I'm sure. Hey, it's all good. If you liked my video today, give me that like, hit that like button. It helps to promote my channel a little bit, and I can use it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and continue to join me on this journey, wherever it may be, or maybe it won't be anywhere. Maybe I'll just stay here. I doubt that'll happen, but just my thoughts today on traveling. Well, Cats, it's too cold to go out. It's been freezing the last couple of days. It snowed today again, and so I'm looking forward to that. Temperatures to get up here. I look at the weather forecast, and every week it shows that the temperatures are going up, and then when that day comes, the bottom drops out again, and it just keeps repeating the same cycle. So we haven't had any really decent weather here in the last couple of weeks, but we're looking forward to it again. So anyways, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, Cats, I'll catch you later.